Welcome back to Ultimate Alchemy, and today we're going to have to be making a number of different alloys for our eventual crafting of the dragon head. And one of the first ones to actually make without going into the nether, i.e. staying in this dimension, this is the challenge, is essentially manulin, or however that's always pronounced, and as well as milk. So that's one of the things. I think it's for the dragon claw. Let's have a look. So on the left hand side here I've got some bookmarks. So Dragon Fang, is it? Dragon Fang. So manulin arrowhead needs some milk. Fair enough. But that is made from manulin, of course, which is usually made from cobalt and ardite. And cobalt and ardite, if we want to make them in this pack, well, we're going to need a few things that we haven't made before. One of them, let's go into the cobalt one first, is liquid death. And we also need jelly cryothium. We need water, which is straightforward, of course, and essence of true blue. That just requires a sort of series setup like over here on the right hand side, just with lots of things making water more and more blue. It's how you get lapis lazuli without using the this, the atomic reconstructor with the lens of color. Okay, so to get there, or to get to cobalt and ardite, we're going to need a few other things. So liquid death's one of them, and if we just go to ardite, I should say, and have a look at the liquid ardite. This needs empowered oil. We've already made that. Blazing pyrotheum, which I'm just about to show you how to make. Lava and nether meat. We've got both of those, of course. Now, blazing pyrotheum does have a recipe in here for smelting to say smelt up a lava bucket to get some blazing pyrotheum. However, it's at 2,352 degrees, and the recipe for, well, the whole smeltery doesn't seem to want to accept blazing pyrotheum as a fuel. I've dropped some in there, made it with a different recipe, and thought it might help and get me more stuff out. Unfortunately, doesn't look like it. So I'm going to take that back out, and I guess we have to make blazing pyrotheum the normal way, which is to say, and it's not terribly hard, we need to make the dust form, which is just 2 blaze, redstone, and sulfur, and that will get us pyrotheum dust, which of course we can smelt down in a smeltery or indeed a magma crucible like this one. But we've already got 1 bucket here. We should have enough for 2 buckets, but we can think about just actually putting the lava back. So let's just put the ender tank back for now, and let me just make sure I don't try and output that anywhere. There we go. That'll do. I'll have a second tank just in case. And then we'll just switch this back, and that should put lava back into the smeltery. Yep. You don't seem to be able to switch the fuel source, or at least it doesn't recognize another fuel source comes in. I tried removing the tank, put the tank back again, didn't work. So not quite sure what's going on there. Doesn't matter to us too much because we're going to be using other things. So I'm going to just put a couple of buckets of lava in there anyway, as we're going to be using them for something else. We're also going to need some other stuff in our smeltery. We have some yellorium in there. Now, yellorium, as you might expect for big reactors or whatever it's actually called these days, is fairly straightforward. You can make it in the smeltery itself to make a block form, and it's just some energized glowstone and lava. So energized glowstone you can just make with a magma crucible and put it into buckets and then combine it with lava, and you'll get yellorium. The yellorium you're going to bring over here, and you're going to need to actually use to create mortars, this stuff. It combines with alchemy, or alchemy, or whatever it's called, or yeah, whatever that stuff is, and Perdicio, and will make buckets of liquid death, like this. There it goes. So those 3 ingredients and those 3 amounts. It needs 100 of this mortis. So that's by far the easiest way to get it is by using yellorium. So that's off to a good start. And then we want the other bits and pieces, don't we? So let's have a look at ardite first. That's probably the easiest one. Ardite. In fact, manulin? Yes, let me just actually add that as a bookmark. So manulin, we can go from ardite. And that's going to need empowered oil, blazing pyrotheum, which we've got now, lava, and nether meat. Okay, so blazing pyrotheum we can put in. Yeah, we want some nether meat, so I think I've got that in a bucket already, just in case. Yeah, so we'll get a bucket of that. which just leaves the first ingredient, that being, what was it again? Empowered oil. And I think I may already have a bucket of that. I did a slightly better setup for empowered oils in case we needed any more. In a squeezer, you just put some canola at the top, and just using these gravity-fed fluid conduits, it's just going to go down into the still, turn into refined canola oil, gravity-fed down again, into a fluid placer, so it's a pulse mode with a button on the side. So if I want fluid, I can push that and get fluid. And then, of course, I can empower the oil to get to this stage. Yep, that's the, it's full essentially, that fluid placer. And there we have an empowered oil bucket, so we can add this in here as well, hopefully. Has that made ardite yet? It has made ardite. It's made 1 block of ardite, so we're going to leave that in there. And we've got 1 block of lava still, and 5 blocks of Yellorium. Yep, well, whatever. Okay, so cobalt then. We can just go by this shortcut. Cobalt is going to need a couple of things. We need that true blue stuff. Water, gelid cryotheum, and liquid death. Liquid death we probably already have, so we can add. Gelid cryotheum is cryotheum dust, which needs blizz powder, snowballs, and redstone. Okay, that would be separable from cryotheum dust, but that's a circular recipe. You can use a fluid transposer to get blizz powder out of snowballs. Interesting. So what's the snowball recipe? We can duplicate it using mana infusion, which we probably will do. That's probably the shortest way through. We're not doing bees to get this. Glacial precipitator is going to be the easiest way to get that. So let's just make one in the system. Hopefully that's not too hard to make. Glacial precipitator. And how many of the components am I going to need? Copper gears. Let's go for the other versions. There we go. So let's just get some of that. We don't really need that many of them. Invar we've already got. Machine frame. Let's just make one of those. And then a piston. Yeah. So there we are. 1 glacial precipitator. And I'll just jam this somewhere where there's some power, hopefully. There. Okay, and we need water. We need to choose the recipe, but what... let's have a look. Do we have an ender tank with water available? We do, sort of. Well, that's the input color, I think, not the output version. But it shouldn't be much of a problem. Whoops. Is that water going in? Auto input unavailable. You should be receiving water. Why aren't you receiving water? Am I just being stupid? It's entirely possible. Let's get rid of this for a second. Yeah, that is available. That's very odd. Fine. Let's put you back. You're definitely not taking the water. Fine, I will fix it by another way. Probably put some kind of gravity-fed conduit. Let's just get rid of that. And we'll put a fluid conduit in the way, and let's see if that actually drains properly. It should be fixed that way. Let's have a look. Let's grab you, unless I'm doing something stupid, which is always possible. There we go. 1 and 2. 2. Come on. There you go. And we can just tell this to be always active. That should drain, and there we go. Water. And that will make snowballs, of course. We can use the snowballs and get them duplicated. Let's get that on the go. Let's put these 2 things away. We don't need the U, and some of you can go away as well. Yeah, I just want to leave plenty of room in my inventory so that we don't have much of an issue with duplication. And duplication, I've got to remember which one of these 2 gets duplicated. It's this one. Okay, and we'll end up probably using up all of this. That should be enough, you think? Yeah. Okay, should be enough. So snowballs we can use then to create blizz powder. So blizz powder. And that is in what? Fluid transposer with liquid XP. We already have a fluid transposer with liquid XP, I think. Maybe. Essence of knowledge. That's not quite the same thing. Sometimes needs a bit of processing. What do we need to get blizz rods? Oh, in fact, hang on. If we get jellium, which we can probably get from snowballs, we can just use our Thorncraft setup to make blizz rods, and that will crunch straight down. So jellium, snowballs. It really should be snowballs. Yeah, there's only one, but we got plenty of this stuff. I should probably combine these into snow just so there's less Thorncraft shenanigans going on. Less flux, that is. Well, is it just 2 at 2? Yeah. Let's go review. And 36. That gives 3 each. Let's put this through the system. And was it sticks? I think it was sticks. We just grab some from there. Stick. Okay. And put you in. Put you in here. And let's deselect that. And select blizz rods. Let's get, half of those, but they should come out of the system. We can just put them into a pulverizer and get our blizz powder that way. That will get us our jellied cryothium. And for the essence of royal blue, whatever it is, we're going to need quite a few imbuers and some stills. So let's just put this down first and we'll work everything out as we actually go further up. So there is a still, and then we want an imbuer next, I think. And then we want, let's just swap those back. Then we want both stills. And then we want both imbuers. And then we want water all the way up at the top. And you had problems last time, so let's just use the conduit to connect you. And water right there. And we'll extract it always. Okay, so this should go into the top, and then we're just going to need some power. So let's just run that down the back with some conduits. Yeah, we're not going to need 14, we'll need less than that. So let's just grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we just got to configure this. So top is going to output downwards, then input and output downwards. And the same thing is going to be true for pretty much everything. I think. Well, we'll soon see. How long is it actually going to take you? Do you actually need something else? Water, alchemical imbuer. Water. Let's just see if we can get the recipe in here. I don't know why. Just basically, it's an automated version of a potion. So we're going to have to go through this a little bit. Slightly blue. We need blue pigment for? Did I miss that? Let's just have a look at cobalt. And go backwards. So cobalt needs essence of true blue, and this is where you have to go through a few different machines. So each of these, this is automatic. This needs pulverized gold. That's straightforward. That's automatic. That's automatic. And this needs blue pigment. Yes. So what counts? Does it actually have to be blue pigment? In which case we can just change it from lapis. So let's just put lapis through and pop it in. Okay, off it goes. So that should start moving down. We're going to need to pulverize some gold. So that's going to be the next step. Now that's cold, not gold. Gold. There we go. Not very much of it, but we will pulverize it. And maybe have to make some more. I turned off the machine that was making it. And how far down have you got? So that's essence of slightly blue. And did you need the gold? Seems like you do. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to set the rest up. So let me just set that entire setup up. We should get the essence at the bottom, and that's where we'll need it. We'll just be able to bucket it out, get one bucket full, and combine it in the smeltery, which already has the liquid death in there. It's already got the water, and it's already got the jelly cryothium that we made with the snowballs. And here we go. We got true blue, and that has just alloyed itself down into manulin, and one block of manulin. So we're gonna have to do a bit of just a bit of crafting. We need an arrowhead pattern, and have I got my table still around somewhere? Yeah, looks like I do. And let's just see. I want an arrowhead. And one arrowhead cast later. Just made it out of stone and then put gold over the top of it. Just two ingots of gold. Make yourself a cast as you normally would. And then we should be able to make some manulin with that, or at least Not sure whether one block, well, one block, not one ingot, so we should have enough for a couple of arrowheads. Let's have a look. That is being made, and that only took, yeah, that didn't take very much at all, just one ingot. So we'll have 2 of those, and then we can use those. Third one will be made, but we can use those to make up the dragon claw. Yeah, we've got 5 ingots, we can just leave that in there for now. We are going to need the milk, however. So milk. There we go. I just want to take both buckets out, and I'll just put these blazing pyrotheum buckets back in. I'm not sure if we're going to need them again, but if we do, we have them available. So we can pour milk in, and we're going to need 2 of these, so 2 buckets of milk. Milk just came from putting sugar into here, into the fermenter with compost and protein soup. That's straightforward. And then we have milk going to the bottom. We can take the ingot cast out and then grab the arrowhead. Assuming I've done this right. So 1 arrowhead, and that's 1 done, and 2 done. So is there a dragon? Yeah, there's 2 dragon fangs. Good. We can get rid of you off the list. Where's dragon fang? Dragon fang. Okay, that's 1 done. Now, something I should mention is that you don't want to stop your nickel machine. I did a few episodes ago, and I regret it now. Why? Because nickel is going to be needed to make platinum, and platinum is going to be needed to make iridium. If we have a look at iridium, I've got 1 because I processed a lot of stuff off camera. However, you're going to need a lot more than that. So what are we actually going to need to do to get it? We need nickel ore. And nickel ore, when pulverized, has a chance to drop platinum. And I've already got an augmentation for, say, auxiliary sieve. It occasionally drops a platinum. Now the platinum, in turn, of which I've only got 4, occasionally when you make ore out of it, and we're going to have to go and make that ore in a minute, but nickel ore is just molten nickel poured over stone in the smeltery. Molten platinum is exactly the same. The problem there is that the amount of nickel you need to make nickel ore, it gets reduced. Obviously, 1 nickel block produces 1 nickel ore, but 1 nickel ore, when you pulverize it, only produces like a couple of dust. So you're dropping it down by 4 to 5 times in terms of quantity when you do this. And then you do the same thing with platinum, and that drops it down again another 4 to 5 times. So if you don't have enough nickel to get this done, you have a bit of a problem, because you run out of platinum to try and make a tiny amount of iridium. Now I've made 1, but you will want more than that. So make lots and lots of nickel, and then you want to just combine this in the typical way in our smeltery. I've got some manulin in there. Let me just put this in and smelt it. So nickel, and we want some stone, and we can pour, I think. Oh, we have to just rearrange the order. 1 second. Nickel first. And there it goes. It's producing the nickel ore that we were just pulverizing to get an occasional platinum ore. And let's look at the platinum now. 3 more. So you can imagine, I've not even got 1 platinum ore worth. And again, it's 10%, or maybe a bit higher with auxiliary sieve, to get the next stage. So that's needed, unfortunately. If we have a look at the iridium, let's just take the uses of this one. I hate it when he does that. Let's just look it up from this side. Iridium, there we go. Iridium plate in a crucible, where it makes us dragon scale. And we need a few of the other bits of pieces of Essentia. But, you know, we're going to need 2 of these, because we need 2 dragon scales for the dragon. Dragon head is over here at 1, 2. See? And each one of these needs an iridium plate. So there's no way to double iridium that I could see. So we need to just get lots of platinum. And that is not easy. To move on to the next item, we're going to need a refinery from Immersive Engineering. So I've started crafting it here. See, we've got 2 light engineering blocks, 2 heavy engineering blocks, 2 columns, and a fluid pipe in the middle, and a redstone engineering block on the end. And here's the whole construction going up. obviously see that in your engineer's manual. However, we can hopefully should be able to just put it together like this, and I hopefully will have got it right. So engineer's hammer. Let's just craft a new one. I always forget what my old one is. And is it on this block or one of these? Yep, there we go. So we've got a refinery, and we're going to convert 2 materials into another 2 materials, potentially, I would imagine. And in here, yeah, we've got, in fact, no, to 1 material. We've got 1 output tank and 2 input tanks. What are we going to need for those? Well, so in this one, what we're going to be producing from the dragon head, which one is it? Is it the horns? No, not horns. Which one is it? It's one of these. Dragon's breath. There we go. Dragon's breath needs void vapors and needs liquid chorus, and it produces dragon's breath. So we need 2 buckets of each of these to produce 1 bucket of dragon's breath. But I think it's how much dragon's breath do we actually need? Just a 1 glass bottle, really. So yeah, that won't be much at all. Although it does say 1 bucket goes into 1 bottle. Fine, it's a gas, I guess. So fair enough. So to get that then, we're going to need those 2 things. We're going to need void vapors and liquid chorus. Void vapors, let's take a look at first. Just needs us to smelt up some void seed. In fact, it was 1 void seed, but we're going to need 2 buckets, so 2 void seeds. And in fact, we're probably going to get them in the system by now. Seed. Yeah, just a couple of those. We can put that into a into the smeltery. It's empty of everything else. Just make sure I've not got it connected and turned on for anything else. No, everything else is shut off. Good. Let's put you both in there. And void vapors, 2 buckets. Can I just grab them back out of here? Out of one of the casting basins, maybe? No, it doesn't cast. So we're just gonna have to get it out as a liquid. And straightforward, just with a gravity-fed tank straight off the side there, and that will do for that particular thing. Can we just ladle this in? Can I just... Yeah, it looks like I can. And same thing there. I'm not sure... What happened to the buckets? Did they just disappear? Oh, they're still there. It's just yeah, bit of a glitch. So void vapors is one of them. That's fine. So the dragon's breath, other half is probably something that will be really hard. Liquid chorus. What do we need for liquid chorus? I'd rather not have to go through industrial engineers, but if we do, we do. Crystallized chorus chunks. Fluid transposer will transform them, and we need crystallized chorus for it. How are we actually going to make that? Is that something we can already do? Liquid chorus in a drying basin. How do we actually make it in the first place? Chorus fruit? Okay, chorus fruit is something we can make in a photogenic insulator once we have 1 chorus flower. And a chorus flower, can we actually make this via any other method than me having to go through something else? Liquid chorus back around again. 1 second, let me see if there's a way around this. Yep, there is. We make protein soup again with ender pearls and we get liquid chorus. And that, hopefully, is that the actual product that we need? Yes, it is. So we just need 8 ender pearls, which I'm probably going to have to make a few more of. And those, with some sort of suitable processing, should make us a liquid chorus without going anywhere near all those other mods. You'll see I'm probably going to run out of protein soup here fairly quickly. Yeah, and liquid chorus is going across over here. So it's not quite enough for 2 buckets. So let me just go and get that running again, get our protein soup running. There we go. I've put a fluid transposer down on top and use the dragon's breath from in here after it completed. And we're just going to just fill that up. There we go. We've got 1 dragon's breath. So that's that done. Yep, we need a mint. Fair enough. Dragon's breath. There you go. That's that one done. Moving on to the horns then, and that's a lot of actually additions. So we've got to throw 2 diamonds in first and convert those over without the lens of colour. I'll throw in 6 quartz and we should get prismarine shards out. We're going to want those and cyan dyes because we're going to need to make the horns. So the horns, we need this empowered palace crystal and 2 of these empowered diamantine crystals. These are going to need some silver, some quicksilver, and some light blue dye. But before we get to those, we can probably do the centerpiece first. So let's just grab, make sure we take all of these out first of all. we're not going to need too many more seeds, I wouldn't have thought. So this should be fine to remove now. And there it goes. So we'll put that one in the middle. And I want to say it's like 3 of these on each of the outside, something like that. And then cyan. There we go. So that's the empowered centerpiece. We're going to need the empowered diamantine crystals, which is going to need the other bits and pieces. So what were they again? Diamantine? Diamantine? Empowered. 2 silver, light blue dye, and quicksilver. Okay, so quicksilver we probably have plenty of. Yep. And we need to make 2 of these. So we need to make a batch of 2. Make sure of that. So silver, that means we're going to need 4 silver. And light blue dye. Dye. Can we just craft it? We can. Good. And is that everything? Looks like everything. So let's just put all these on the toolbar. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is that right? There we go. Yeah. And we'll do the same thing again with another crystal. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and what's the rest of the recipe for the dragon horn? So that's also these empowered emeraldic crystals. So they're probably going to be emeralds processed somehow. Emeraldic is going to be emerald, I would have thought. Yep, so we want 2 emeralds. We want some grass, some slime dye, some slime balls, and some oak saplings. That should be relatively straightforward. 1 second, let me just grab those pieces. And this should make the empowered version of the emerald. Yep, and that means we can probably just put all this together. I'm going to need some more of this, of course. I'm short, but other than that, 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like everything we need for one of the horns. There we go. And I'll go and craft the other one off camera, of course. Now, I wanted to make the hide, but we kept on running out of grid power, if you remember. I just need to put 1 piece of leather in there, and it will freeze up. And even though I remove all these upgrade speeds from everywhere else, it still doesn't have enough power. So we need to make a dragon egg, which is now made. So a typical wand of acceleration on top of a time machine, and we need to put egg yolk in here. Oh, well, sorry, an egg, but we make that with egg yolk, and that's just milk and protein powder or protein soup, whatever it is, in an alloy, and then pour it into a pan cast. I've got an ingot cast back in there now. So that makes an egg. Put that into the time machine along with void vapors, which is just another void seed over there, and we get a dragon egg. So we should be able to make a dragon mill, I think, a dragon egg mill. And that would produce a lot more power. Let's just have a look. Dragon egg mill. Oh, no, it needs nether stars. That's a shame. Anyway, we can put the dragon egg. Well, no, we're not going to need any of that stuff. What else does it need apart from that? Nether stars and an eye of redstone. That's redstone slurry, which is straightforward. It's just redstone. So yeah, the only thing we're missing is actually nether stars. Is there any way to make those? Well, we can make, once we've got 1, we can make many, many more. But no, we have to fight the wither if we wanted to do that. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to get some more power the old-fashioned way. Dragon. No, we're not going to go for dragon. We have to go for watermills, probably. Watermills, and they. Yeah, I'm going to have to make quite a few redstone torches. Use those to make redstone gears. And what's left? Just some of you. Okay, let's put 4 down and let's see if that helps. And just to close out this episode, we just need one more thing, which is the skull itself. So we will make that from these flux armor platings. I did show you how to make those last episode, but they're not terribly hard. They're just electrum. Let's just get to this. Electrum and destabilized redstone. And we've already done that. So there's no real harm in not showing it. Combine it with sand, you get flux electrum. Compact it, you get plates, and then you add these stabilized redstone again to diamonds, and you get the flux crystals. And that just you need to make 8 of these. Now, there's one ingredient missing. And those of you who are following along may know which one I'm talking about. If I just put this chest down for a second, there is our central ingredient, which will go right in the middle on that pedestal. And you'll see here on the outside, I've got all the ingredients. I got the second iridium, and it's over there. And we've got the horns, we've got the claws, we've got the hide, there's the horns, the eyes, which we crafted last episode, the breath. The only one left is this, the tongue. And I've crafted all the other pieces, they're ready and waiting. They're all the way over here. It's a petal apothecary recipe, so just over in this chest over here. I've crafted the runes ahead of time. They are straightforward. There's stuff we've seen before. And that leaves one last thing. The Gaia Spirit. So, in order to get more of these, we're going to need to fight one in the first place. And I thought I'd leave it here for this episode because maybe you guys want to weigh in on how you want me to fight the Gaia Spirit. I think, left to my own devices, I may well look at Thorncraft sort of stuff, maybe AoE weapons or something along those sort of lines. Yeah, that may be worthwhile, but I suppose there's certain other things in the pack anyway, and we pretty much only need that one ingredient, and then this whole thing can get activated once we have all the Essentia going. And that will be the Dragon Head, which will lead us to Draconium. Draconium will be then quite easy using a metal press, and then we can get into the final leg of all this. So we've got the Dragon Hide now. That's done. I just added more watermills. The horns, the scale, the skull. Actually leaves the tongue and with the skeleton skull, but that's straightforward. I think I've shown you that before, unless I already made it. Did I make it with a... No, I didn't. I just needed one skull and putting it in a bottling machine with some industrial grade evil. That's not terribly hard to do. And yeah, one thing left. Alright, hope you've enjoyed the episode. Feel free to give it a like if you have. Spam share if you haven't already, and of course click the bell or follow me on Twitter at Greyduster if you want more notifications. If you don't, that's fine too. More importantly, just like all the other series on the channel at the moment, let other people know in the comments below if you've got any ideas. And yeah, that looks pretty good to me. So we'll see you next episode for the Gaia fight. And hopefully crafting this skull then and getting into Draconic Evolution. As always, guys, thanks for watching.